My name is János Mácsi. I'm working for the Hungarian NRM. I am director of network and multimedia. My colleague should have done this presentation, because probably he's more responsible for the NOC than me, because I am responsible for more than 2 departments. But anyway, I give the presentation. So usual outline of our presentation, the flash talk, the presentation, so not something unusual. Maybe some interest for you. Some figures about our networks and our member institutions. More than 5,600 member institutions, locations we have. That's quite huge, because we are also serving, as you can see, not only the universities and research institutions, but primary and secondary schools, public collections, libraries and museums. So a quite large community that we are serving, and also some hospitals. So you can see that that's the number of member institutions is much lower than the locations. We are usually counting the locations because that's important for service delivery points. So that's why we are counting that high. And the speed, the access speed of our users are quite a bit of range, from half a meg to 100 gig per second. So the CERNET at Wigner data center is operational in Budapest. So we are serving with 100 G together with Geant, and so quite broad range of service speed. And this is the figures for our number of devices. So plenty of data to collect, and as you might recognize, we use the Niif Hungarnet terminology. The Niif it's not very understandable from external point of view, or except if you're in Hungary. That's why we add Hungarnet. Hungarnet is an association that is somehow is collecting member institutions, but it's not necessary to be part of the association. But we are serving both community in a certain sense. About our infrastructure, we have quite interesting infrastructure from dark fiber that's released with EIRU. We have lease lambdas, we have licensed point-to-point microwaves, ADSL lines, DOCSIS cables, Metro Ethernet solution, these different lead lines to the lower speed. And we have contract with 8 telecommunication companies to provide such services. Maybe you can see here that, for example, we have a licensed microwave, and the others are usually, we call it lead fiber, because this it's run by our DWDM system. So network elements we are using, the optical network, it's based on the optical network of the Hungarian electricity company, on the optical ground wire, and because these premises of the Hungarian electricity company is usually outside of the city, we have to build our local loops. So we have local loops and this backbone. We are running the DWM system based on Alcatel-Lucent. It's a rather new one. And we have IP system with Cisco ASR 9000. And I would say we are mostly a Cisco shop. The network service is nothing special, usual NRM services. About the NOC, and also about the NIF, some words. We have approximately 60 people divided in 8 departments. From these, there are 4 technical departments, 1 financial, project management, partner relations, and international relations. We have approximately 26 services. That's why it's interesting why I don't have the exact figures, because some services are counted as a service, and always an argument that it's really a service or not, and some are not counted, but it's a separate service in a certain sense, because they have different SLAs for these services. So that's why it's rough number of services. NOC is part of the Department of Network Infrastructure, which has 15 full-time members that is also serving the primary and secondary schools. So the Network Infrastructure Department is the kind of support line for these institutions. And in the same time, we have approximately 15 supporting members from regional centers, basically doing remote hands if there needs some cabling, installation, or replacing the cards, helping the vendor to replace the cards, and so on and so on. So it's not a very big amount of work for them, but it's very helpful. Our work and how we are working, we are using the similar architecture as the Israelis mentioned. We have a call center at 24/7. It's basically, this call center can handle basic questions and can dispatch according to the questions to different departments, because several times the call center get requests from contractual matters or something like that, they can dispatch for different departments the requests. Where it's an outsourced system, so we are outsourcing this call center. The first line support is done by ourselves. It's the working days and from 8 to 16. That's basically where the majority of our users are using our systems. So the schools, universities, that's the most important period of time. And usually we have 2 tier 1 engineer in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, and there is an overlap. Usually we see that that's around lunchtime. It's a quite busy day, busy period, because usually there are some problem reports in the morning, and if something is not working, usually they report it during the lunch break, and in the afternoon it's become again slightly less stressed. So that's why there is a slight overlap in the morning and in the afternoon. And we have experts, on-duty engineers, 24/7 with weekly shift. And these on-duty engineers can help the juniors here in the tier 1. In case of emergency, there are some big problem that they can help resolving the problems. And during the night or after 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. And in the weekend, they're doing a kind of on-duty engineering works. If there is a major maintenance, a software upgrading in the routers, and so on, or supervising or resolving the major failure things. So the NOC staff is as I mentioned, 15, and this is the division, and the +1 is that's me. So I am the boss. So I don't do usually sometimes I do tier 2 help, but not usually. So what are the services that NOC is doing? As I mentioned, helpdesk for institutions in several areas, network, multimedia services, and application services. For supercomputing, we don't do in the NOC such a NOC-like services. Of course, we do connectivity management, monitoring, network maintenance, configurations, and usually the tier 2 member of the NOC is doing the planning and the development work, also the software, some part of the software development. So the most interesting part of my presentation, I think, it's for you, the NOC tools, what we are using. Okay. What our strategy? We prefer to have a shibboleth-based authentication and we call it EduID, and we prefer the open source components. The biggest, the most important tools for us, the email and the phone communication. We have own Drupal-based ticketing system. We developed and integrated an information system for keeping track the information about the contractual and the devices. Of course, for DWDM management, we have the photonic manager of Alcatel. We have a modified weather map. We are using Cricket also for optical monitoring. We are using Nagios, so pretty similar things that others are doing. Most of them are, as I mentioned, slightly modified in order to be able to use the shibboleth authentication and authorization. About the NOC tool integration, we have a portal for NOC and also for the users, and there are some screenshots. So that's basically the ticketing system. So it's as I mentioned, Drupal-based shibboleth authentication and role-based authorization, and you can divide into departments that can have slightly different look like. And also we are using not only for travel ticketing, but keeping track of tasks, this line creation and dismantling. So one type of users. We have also individual users, but most of the users are the NEF member institutions, system administrator and senior representatives of these member institutions. Of course, we are coping with outside partners and also with other departments. We have an SLA, at least in the contract. It's not very tight, I would say. And we are measuring the SLA, but only we have SLA for a certain type of services. So in some services we have SLA, some not. So that's a kind of mixture. So what are the users are looking, seeing? So that's what the end users are seeing. So they have the tools, available tools collected to them, and also they can log in to our CRM portal. Unfortunately, it's in Hungarian only, and they can access. Unfortunately, not very visible here from probably even from the first row of the building. The different systems that we are providing them to access. They can access the router configuration, ticketing, cricket, Nagios, whatever they want, but only their own system. And that's the system that is that the NOC is seeing. So all the tools are collected in one pages, so easy to access for the NOC personnel. Communication tools. We are heavily relying on email and phone communication. We are using video conferencing, and one interesting thing that we have a monthly meeting with our member institutions. Sometimes it's bi-monthly, I would say, because if there is not enough topic to discuss, we usually postpone for another month. Of course, we are using the trouble ticketing system. Our users can submit and keep track of the tickets themselves. And the IIR, that's where we are keeping track of the information. Other groups, it's like slightly different. We are using another issue tracking system called Redmine. Probably some are also using that one. And outside, we have to interface somehow the external trouble ticketing systems. The IR system, that's our development. So what information we are keeping track in that one, the location responsible for person's devices, and also attached to that one, the contracts that we have support for that device, and the closure of the contract and so on. And we are integrated with our monitoring system. So how does it look like? So you can have here the list of the endpoints. The endpoint devices here, the connection, the information about the system, the endpoint, and the location of the user, and also the responsible person, the contact persons. You can see here. About the documentation, we have service description, procedures, advice, hints, and we are keeping track of the modification. We have config procedures, contact information. What tools we are using? We are using Wiki and Moin Wiki. Of course, we are using the IIR, our system, and of course, Word document. And about sharing information, I don't know. We haven't think about, but probably we can share some of the documentation. But unfortunately, as I mentioned, it's mostly in Hungarian, so it has to be translated in abstract. So effort required to translate it to English, make it more useful. So thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question, I try to answer it. What we are we are using the Alcatel Photonic Manager. That's their element management system of the 1830. And also we developed some Nagios plugins that's available for collecting information, and also we have a weather map for DWDM system, and we can see that information, and that's visible also for our users. So the DWDM weather map is visible, and also they can look at the status of the DWDM system located on their premises, but also the whole system. So that's possible, but accessing directly to the Photonic Manager or accessing them, we are thinking of having something, but we are not there yet.
So you basically follow
Yeah, basically we pull the information from the equipment itself, and also from the photonic manager, because that's sending out SNMP traps, and from that one we are also filtering, and that's we made also available for our users.
We're really short on time, so one quick question.
Okay.
You mentioned you are 3,000 organization. How are you setting up these locations? Do you yourself or do you have an external company installing the networks there remotely? I don't know. 3,000 is a little bit huge number for 50 people. I cannot imagine.
We have, in the 15 persons, we have 3 persons who is responsible to install or replace the equipments if there is a broken one. So they are constantly going around Hungary to replace the broken system. So that's a huge work, yeah, 3 persons.
Okay, thank you, Jonas.